It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, James Keirstead. James is responsible for managing the vision and growth of Levven Electronics, developing and executing long-term corporate strategies and building relationships with partners, stakeholders, and investors. Levven has a vision of making intelligent buildings available to everyone, focused on delivering technology and products to advantage new construction. Levven's promise is mobile device access and control of building infrastructure that lowers building construction and conserves building materials. He's a lifelong entrepreneur with excellence in enhancing people's lives. Prior to founding Levven, James and his partners founded Blue Falls Manufacturing, makers of Arctic spas, and expanded its footprint to over 30 countries. James is an active member and contributor to several entrepreneurial organizations, including Entrepreneurs Organization, the A100, Edmonton Regional Innovation Network, and Rainforest Alberta. When he isn't focused on the business, you can find him on Edmonton mountain bike trails or hanging out with his family. We feel really, really lucky that James has offered his time to come and share his story with us. And so please join me in welcoming to the stage, James Keirstead.
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to just share my screen here and bring up a presentation. And I apologize, I don't know that I'll be able to see everybody while that presentation is up. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, it's coming through great.
Okay, perfect. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to have you here to join me on an entrepreneurial journey where I've navigated the treacherous ups and downs of starting several businesses, all while overcoming a very humble background. I grew up as three kids, a twin brother and a sister, all raised by a single mother. But that didn't stop me from dreaming big and believing in the power of hard work to create my own destiny. With each challenge, I've gained experience, knowledge, and more than just a few gray hairs. But most importantly, I've learned invaluable lessons that I'm eager to share with you. So buckle up, let's dive into this adventure as I offer some nuggets and advice and anecdotes to inspire you to tackle your own challenges and unleash your inner entrepreneur. So why would you care about what I have to say? Well, in my career, I've managed to expand several businesses such as Arctic Spas, which we took global and established as Canada's top hot tub manufacturer. Our trophy case brimmed with accolades, capturing virtually every honor a company could desire, among these being named one of Canada's 50 best managed companies, Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and not one, but two companies on Canada's fastest growing companies list for half a decade straight. I've lost everything twice, which, if anything, has schooled me in the art of what not to do. And currently, I'm trying to work my magic on my next venture, Levven, in the technology space. Back in 2009, while running Arctic Spas with my partners, we capitalized on several opportunities to vertically integrate our supply chain to ensure supply and continue to innovate in our industry. And we agreed the benefits of integrating electronics and manufacturing were too great to ignore. Fast forward to 2011, I made the bold move. I acquired a struggling electronics manufacturer, and from there, Levven was born. With a focus on producing hot tub controls, audio, and water management systems, Levven quickly became an integral part of Arctic's technology strategy. In 2014, I sold my interest in Arctic Spas to my business partners so I could focus on Levven. But my vision didn't stop there. I saw an opportunity to bring mobile device access and control to building infrastructure, but I didn't really know how I would enter that market until a year later when I met Reza Nasri, the owner of Landmark Homes, who came to see us with a problem. Reza shared with us that his company needed to shorten the time it takes to build and deliver a new home. Landmark had invested in a method to pre-build walls in a factory, and the electrical wire between the light and the switch was preventing them from taking advantage of the speed the factory could deliver. My head of engineering and I saw the solution right away. Separate the common switch into its two parts, the electrical contacts and the rocker people use every day. The electrical contacts portion could be installed in the electrical box behind the light, and the rocker switch could be mounted right on the wall, wherever. Wireless communication between the two components would be used to turn the light on and off. Today, Levven is a thriving business of 42 employees and a decade of experience in designing embedded devices connected to mobile applications. Our state-of-the-art printed circuit board assembly plant, engineering, and software teams can develop products from concept to production. What sets Levven apart is our unwavering commitment to innovation and customer satisfaction. We're not just focused on making a profit, we're focused on making a difference. By bringing intelligent business solutions to the masses, Levven is reducing costs, speeding up construction, conserving materials, and improving consistency and quality, all the while being able to give customers the ability to control their entire home from a smartphone. Embarking on the entrepreneurial path is both fulfilling and demanding, presenting numerous hurdles that can either propel or hinder your venture. I've been lucky to overcome some of these obstacles, and the most significant challenges I've encountered involve acquiring funds, competing with huge incumbents, complying with regulations, building a team, and adjusting to market shifts. I'll start with a story about my challenge in acquiring funding. It's the year 2000. I'm only 32 years old at the time. We'd bought a failing hot tub manufacturer 3 years earlier and had grown so much in that time that we outgrew our factory and had found the community of Thorsby, Alberta, willing to sell us 14 acres of land for almost nothing to build our plant on, which was wonderful because building hot tubs takes a lot of space, and we really couldn't afford land cost in Edmonton. We had been negotiating with 2 top 5 Canadian banks and finally had a term sheet from one of them. We were so excited. We bought the metal building, brought services to it, and started pouring the foundation when the bank pulled our term sheet. Some bank executive had decided we didn't have enough personal assets outside of the business to support the $6 million we needed to borrow. And even though the business clearly had the cash flow to service the debt, it was a situation which could have sunk our business. But because we were already committed based on that funding, we were left scrambling. I reached out to BDC, who saw our vision, liked that we were supporting a rural community, and stepped in quickly to help us finish the building. That was a pivotal moment for us. Without their help, we might not have survived, and we certainly wouldn't have grown like we did over the following years without the capacity that plant offered. Since then, I have learned to spend a lot of time forecasting cash flow and understanding the ratios banks require, so we are certain to comply. I've refined our business plans to ensure we're clear, concise, and compelling. And I've worked tirelessly on building a strong network of contacts, mentors, and investors who could vouch for my credibility and provide guidance. I've explored and secured alternative funding sources such as grants, angel, and institutional investors also to augment traditional lenders and help me de-risk my business. The lesson I learned is persistence and creativity in finding funding sources are essential to entrepreneurial success. Navigating regulatory requirements was another challenge, as certification and code bodies struggle to keep pace with technological advancements. For example, when we first envisioned the wireless light switch and all its benefits to the construction community and the consumers who would own these homes, we never for a moment thought that we would run into electrical regulatory issues, especially because we were taking hundreds of feet of high voltage wiring out of every single home. The team Levven had developed the first wireless switch back in 2014 and installed them into 5 landmark homes in Edmonton. Everyone was really excited, and the electrical inspections community in Edmonton had accepted the change. We wanted to expand to Calgary with Landmark, and so we met with the inspections community there, and the chief electrical inspector would not approve our homes with our product installed. Not only that, he also reached out to every jurisdiction in Canada, including Edmonton, who had previously approved the use of our switches in new construction. Within days, we were completely locked out of the new residential home construction market for the entire country. It took until 2018 before Alberta alone issued a stand data accepting our wireless switch as a reasonable alternative to traditional wired switches. And the rest of Canada only adopted that change in 2021, almost 7 years after the product entered the market. So now we're not so naive to act and to actively address this issue. We stay informed about industry regulations and changes. We collaborate with experts and consultants to ensure compliance. We advocate for regulatory improvements to support innovation and growth, even join standards committees to help shape regulation. The hard lesson we learned is that one must proactively manage regulatory requirements if you're in a regulated industry and hope to succeed. In all my businesses, we have entered markets with massive incumbents who dominate the industry, yet we were able to carve out a niche successfully. For each company, we developed unique technologies that differentiated us from our competitors. For example, when we entered the hot tub industry, all large competitors insulated their spas by filling the entire cavity under the cabinet with foam, and none of them had floors. This had several disadvantages. It didn't allow for heat recovery from the motors. It made servicing the spa very difficult and made fixing leaks even more challenging. Not to mention, with no floor on their products, they were the perfect environment for rodents. We were the first company to put floors on spas and to insulate them like you insulate your home, all the insulation on the outer walls, the floor, and the cover, allowing us to trap warm air generated by the pumps. It made our spas way more efficient and serviceable. Over the years, we launched innovation after innovation, and our agility gave us a competitive advantage. And in the realm of lighting controls, our approach is unparalleled. Our dedication to understanding our clients' businesses and challenges they face exceeds that of any competitor, enabling us to identify tailored solutions that provide exceptional value. As we continually engage in product discovery and testing, our offerings become increasingly aligned with our customers' needs. This commitment led to the realization that removing wires from the walls not only saves on material and labor, but also accelerates construction, minimizes callbacks and warranty issues, and offers a comprehensive home automation experience at a lower cost than traditional wired switches. And it's hard to deny the persuasive nature of such a value proposition. So a startup's ability to succeed is in large part about its ability to differentiate ourselves from the established counterparts by offering unique products, services, and customer experiences. And while large corporations often have the advantage of economies of scale and established distribution networks, we can counter these strengths by being more agile and innovative in our approach. Startups have the ability to identify and exploit gaps in the market that incumbents might have overlooked or deemed too risky. This allows us to cater to underserved segments of the market, providing a competitive edge. Moreover, we can leverage the power of digital marketing and social media to promote our brand and connect with our target audience in a more intimate and cost-effective manner than ever before. By creating compelling content that resonates with our audience, we generate a loyal following and foster a sense of community around our brand. This not only helps us driving customer acquisition, but it also helps us in retaining customers and turning them into brand advocates. Another advantage that we have over our large counterparts is our ability to foster a strong company culture that promotes innovation, collaboration, and adaptability. This allows us to be more responsive to market change and customer feedback, enabling us to iterate and improve our offerings at a faster pace. So while competing against giant incumbent companies as a startup can be challenging, it is by no means an insurmountable task. By focusing on your strengths, such as agility, innovation, and the ability to connect with your audience, you can effectively position yourself in the market and compete with the industry giants. The key is to never underestimate the power of a well-executed strategy and the drive to excel, as these qualities can help any business, regardless of its size, thrive in a marketplace. Discovering the perfect blend of talent and nurturing a culture of teamwork and productivity is a never-ending challenge for me here at Levven. However, we have overcome this challenge with several different approaches that emphasize the importance of a unified vision and company culture through the implementation of a robust business operating system that provides a common language and understanding, enabling our diverse team to work together to succeed. By doing so, we have attracted like-minded individuals who are committed to our shared goals. Additionally, we instituted rigorous recruitment process to ensure only the finest talent joins our ranks. And we bolster this further by investing in the growth and development of our people, fostering a vibrant culture of collaboration and communication. So, some lessons I've learned as an entrepreneur. Number one, the importance of perseverance. Entrepreneurship is a journey full of ups and downs, and perseverance is the key to overcoming challenges and achieving success. Two, take action. What you know is nice, but it's what you do that counts. I'll give you an example. When we first started Arctic Spas, most of our Canadian competition was going down in the US, where our large US competitors were. We saw this opportunity to go over to Europe, where no one had a foothold on the market. So we built 4 containers of spas, shipped them on the ocean, and I flew over to open up our first warehouse. I found out very quickly that opening a warehouse with cash is not actually that easy in the United Kingdom because of their anti-money laundering laws, which we weren't doing, but anyway. I found our first dealer in what's called the Midlands, in a place called Droitwich Spa, which kind of ironic that was named that. He was literally a farmer, and I convinced him to store our 4 containers of spas at his farm and become our first dealer while we looked for a warehouse. But the interesting thing is that warehouse is still there. That was back in 1999, and it springboarded us into the rest of Europe. If we hadn't taken that action, we may never have gotten to all the countries that we ended up in. Next, I'd say focus on constant customer discovery. There's no better way to ensure you continue to deliver value for your customer than to build customer discovery into all your interactions with your customers. We use a solid framework from Strategizer. We also stay true to your vision. Staying focused on your North Star is imperative to being able to say no to all the distractions that will come your way. I'll give you a perfect example. at Levven, we used to do audio for almost a decade. We worked on audio. We banged our heads against the wall trying to get that product out to market because it had the same customers. Unfortunately, it was a very different business with very different competitors, and we just could not compete. I finally, after hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment, I wrote everything off and shelved it. And since then, we have been accelerating on the other side of our business at a pace I didn't know possible. I'd also say have an operating system for your business. A system with common structure and language delivers visibility and accountability across any organization. And without it, I don't think we would have become as successful as we have. And finally, some practical advice. I would say believe in yourself. Have faith and confidence in your abilities to overcome any obstacles and challenges that come your way. As Canadians, we can compete globally, so don't be afraid to think big. Embrace failure. View failure as a learning opportunity and a stepping stone towards success rather than a setback or a roadblock. Be flexible and adaptable to change and embrace new challenges and opportunities as they arise. Seek to support and surround yourself with strong support systems, including mentors, advisors, and peers who can offer guidance and encouragement when facing adversity. It has been wonderful to share a bit of my story with you. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for listening, and I'm available to answer any questions. Let me just try and get all these.
Yeah, thank you so much, James. Just a wonderful story and some awesome advice there too. Constant customer discovery. I really like that. There's a few questions in the chat that I'll pass on to you here, and feel free to put questions in the Q&A section, guys, if you have any. So the first one I'll throw at you here, James, is what have you done to maintain a positive work-life balance throughout your journey, and what tips can you give entrepreneurs to do the same?
I don't know if there really is what we call work-life balance. I think there is. I would say I balance it by being really strong on both ends, but really far apart. Like I don't sit in the middle. So, for example, I do these really tough ultra endurance races and multi-day mountain biking races. And I got into mountain biking because mountain biking is one of those sports where you really have to be 100% focused all the time or you crash. And that for me was almost like meditation because I can't turn my brain off normally from work. And it's the one time that I really can. Having a wife that is an absolute gem and so supportive of me and knew who I was from day one and being okay with that actually makes being myself okay and makes it less stressful for me in trying to manage that work-life balance that people call it.
Awesome. I don't think you'll find me on any endurance mountain bike races soon. That's very, very impressive. That's really cool. So next question, how did you begin transitioning from being a solo entrepreneur towards a strong team with a healthy culture?
Interestingly, I've actually even Levven only owned controlling interest in Levven for a fairly short period of time. I've built teams. That's what I like to do. I like to find the right talent. I like to fit the team together and build that culture of skills. And I'm really clear on what I'm good at. And I'm also really clear on what I'm not good at. My current business partner and the other people on my team, they all fit specific areas in our business that are not my strong suit. I'm kind of an ops finance guy. My closest business partner, he is a sales and marketing whiz, and and I have another one that's in, really strong in manufacturing, and my CFO really strong in strategic financing. I've learned so much from all these people, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Doing it on your own, is really hard. Like, I don't know how some people do it, where you got to wear all those hats.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a strong team, that's for sure.
I'd much rather have a smaller part of something that I can make much bigger because I've got the right team together to scale it than own 100% of something that I can't get off the ground because I'm too limited in my own capacity.
Okay, and so following up on that, so a lot of our pitchers here, potentially very early stage of potentially doing things on their own now. So what advice would you give to them who are maybe trying to juggle a bunch of different hats and trying to do it themselves just to get started?
Yeah, first thing I would really take stock in what are you personally good at, and be honest with yourself about what you're not good at. And then if you have an opportunity to find a partner that is really good at what you're not good at, I would, work out a mechanism so that you're not taking on the risk initially. So what I did with my first partner is he bought in over time, and that gave me the confidence because I didn't give up everything right away. And I had that time to kind of see, are we going to be able to work together? Is he really as capable as I think he is, right? And then make sure you have a really good unanimous shareholder agreement put in place right at the beginning while everybody loves each other, so that if things don't go the right way, you can have an exit for either of you.
Yeah, awesome. Great advice. From Shane here, what sources did you use to help you when you ran into law/regulation problems?
So for the first 2 years that we ran into the regulatory problems, we just started calling all the ADMs and the chief electrical inspectors in all the communities, and all we were doing was annoying them. And through Entrepreneurs Organization, I was fortunate to meet a politician, I won't share his name, who had left politics but had gotten into lobbying here in Alberta. We decided, well, what we're doing isn't working, so we hired him and his team to start lobbying for us. And literally, I think it was 6 months we already moved things, and by 1 year he had the stand data done. And we had spent 2 years just making them mad. It was crazy. We belong now to the Canadian Council of Innovators, which is a lobbying organization that supports technology entrepreneurs. It's not the cheapest organization for us to be involved in, but I can't stress enough, go find people that are good at lobbying, and especially in regulatory environments. And in terms of legal side, find a good legal partner, someone that is going to be able to grow up with you or is already much bigger than you are. So in Edmonton, we use Denton's. We use Denton's specifically because Denton's is a global legal firm that was started here in Alberta, but has offices all over the world and understands the markets that we're entering.
Awesome. Next question. What or who helped you the most on your business journey?
I would say two things. First of all, Entrepreneurs Organization. I was a member of Entrepreneurs Organization for 19 years. It's a peer-to-peer learning organization that operates in, I think, 90 countries around the world. And being able to sit in a forum group, which is a smaller, it's a chapter-based organization. So in Edmonton, we have about 140 members, and each chapter has forums of 6 to 10 entrepreneurs that get together under a trained format, and we share experiences and we help each other. I joke to my wife, it's my therapy. It's been my therapy group for as long as I know. And without that, I don't know that I ever would have had the guts to go and leave Blue Falls. I am not a typical entrepreneur. I am fastidious. I am detail oriented. I am a classic integrator, and risk scares and uncertainty scares the bejesus out of me. And if it wasn't for all the relationships that I developed in through that organization, I don't know if I would have had the confidence to have left Arctic to start Levven.
Yeah, cool. It's been awesome today seeing we've got obviously 10 different entrepreneurs here, and they've been able to network and sort of start discussing those things themselves. When you see someone else going through the similar experiences or similar problems to you, it makes you feel a little less alone. So I can see that for sure. Now, next one I know is from Jane from GP RIN. Jane is sitting in her older home at the moment, and Jane wants to know, when is the technology going to be available in older homes?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's already available, Jane. You can go to amazon.ca or amazon.com. It can be installed immediately. It's so small. The devices are so small, they'll fit into the junction box above your light or even into your switch boxes and plug boxes. And we sell tens of thousands of them through Amazon and wholesalers and resellers already. And most of them are used in older homes that a person has a switch over here and they wish they had another switch over there, or over here isn't convenient, so I want to put another one over there. And they use our product to do that. It's so easy.
There we go. No excuses now, Jane. All right. A double question here for you. So what scares you the most, and what are you most excited for about the future of your business?
Well, I'd say the thing that scares me the most, cash flow always scares me. Managing the cash requirements as we scale this business, because manufacturing is very capital intensive, that always scares me the most, because if you grow too fast, you can run out of cash. If you grow too slow, you can run out of cash. It's a fine edge of managing that cash. I'd say the other thing that scares me the most is I'm starting to see inklings of where markets are shifting when we go into them. And what I mean by that is we were expecting that we'd be able to go into smaller markets and we would capture, a few percentage points of that market, and then we would be able to push that out. But there is a compounding effect in the relationships between builders and contractors, because no builder only has one electrician and no electrician works with only one builder. So what happens is you find a builder, that builder has a couple of contractors, those contractors start working with your product. They like it, they have builders that they're using, and all of a sudden it just starts to amass very quickly. And we're seeing in some smaller markets in the US where we went from 0 market share months ago to already 20-30% market share in agreements with builders. And we could see how that could expand so fast that we would struggle with capacity in all areas of the business, manufacturing, onboarding, and getting customers up to speed, and having the structures to support them so they can order quickly and we can deliver properly. That makes me nervous.
Awesome. All right. Last one for you here. How important is it to you to give back to the entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I think there's a few people. I know Danny is on here from the RIN, and Jane. They've seen me. I volunteer hundreds of hours of time to the local communities for entrepreneurship. I mentor startups. I, in fact, won the startup award last year for the YEG Startup Awards for Volunteer of the Year. It is part of who I am, not just about giving back, but I'm absolutely passionate about it. I love helping other entrepreneurs because for me, I love the game of business. And I really believe in lifting where I stand. This is where I've spent my life. I think I've learned quite a bit in it, and I just love sharing it with people, which is why, I agreed to join you guys here today.
Absolutely. That's why you're here. Danny's given you the title in the chat here of the Volunteer King. Based on what I've heard and seen from you, Jess, I think on behalf of all the organizers, all the pitchers, and everyone that's here today, I just wanted to thank you so much for your presentation. It was incredible to hear your story, and yeah, we thank you so much for your advice.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time. Go out there and remember, you can take on the world.